Hi everybody, it's Steve Smith, editor of PHC News Magazine, coming to you live at our booth here at AHR Expo for day 2 of our series of interviews with various manufacturers throughout the day. And our next guest is one I'm looking very forward to. I love this company a lot. I've been to their beautiful Colorado facility. If you haven't been yourself, definitely got a plan to go. They got another good facility, training facility in New Hampshire. I've never actually seen that, so I got to get out there myself. But our next guest is Bo DeAngelo, manager of technical training for Viega.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Thanks for coming by. It's good. Now, listen, I know you want to jump right into products. I want to talk about training, but let's go where you want to go. And you have a booth here at the, what's the booth number one more time? You told me before. What
is it, 8233, I believe is our booth.
I should have wrote it down.
Yeah.
8233
yes.
In the North Wall. So, what's new and exciting as far as products go for you at the booth?
That's a great question. So we're really excited this year because we are launching a whole valve line in addition to the valves that we already had in large formats. So we go all the way from 1/2 inch to 4 inch on our copper valves.
Yeah.
And then on our mega press valves in stainless steel and in carbon steel for black iron piping systems.
Right.
We have a full line from 1/2 to 4 inch as well. And then we've also launched some really cool configurations of gas valves in 1/2 to 2. And so for the mega press valves, the 3-piece valves that we've launched, we're the only manufacturer with a valve line in press of that size in that configuration. And then for the gas valves, we're also the only manufacturer to have the configurations that we have in our already proven and trusted mega press line for gas. So we're really excited about it to have a really comprehensive product line that's going to perform as the customer expects, and it's ready for purchase today. They can order today. So no waiting. This isn't a sneak peek. This is, we have these and they're ready to buy.
And when I heard you say comprehensive, I immediately thought about manufacturing, supply chain, and getting things to the customer, and all that stuff has been very, very difficult the last couple of years. What's going on with Viega?
So that's a great point, and it's a challenge for every manufacturer out there. It's not just us. Everyone is struggling with supply chain, time over the water. You know, some of our products are made in Germany, and then of course we make our products in the United States of America as well. And so sometimes over the water is a challenge. Cool thing is I work for an awesome company that's family owned, 122 years in the business of manufacturing, forging, metallurgy, and they've got relationships, and they have long-standing relationships, and they're just a good family, and they do business the right way. And so we've been able to head most of that off, and we've had our challenges with getting raw materials and so forth like anyone else. But the family is very committed to making sure that we have what we need here in the United States to serve our customers. They're number one for the Wegener family that founded the company. And they've really shown their commitment to that, and they continue to deliver. It's amazing what they will do to make sure that we don't hurt. They take it personally. They believe they share part in the success of our customers, and they prove it every day. So they've been on top of it. And like I said, we struggle with certain supply chains like anyone else, but we're doing our absolute best to make sure to head it off so that jobs can get completed.
Good. Yeah, that commitment definitely does show. You can hear it from my readers, always talking very, very highly about Viega. So before we jump into training, I know you also have a product on display that won last year's Innovation Award for Radiant, I guess.
Yes.
The Radiant Auto Balancing System. So tell us about that.
So the RAB system, or Radiant Auto Balancing System, is basically an automatic balancing system for your Radiant flooring systems. Its primarily focused is residential, but it can also be used in commercial applications. But it's really designed for that residential market where we want to save energy. We want to actually take Radiant, which is already a very efficient system, and bring the energy consumption down even further and have an automatic balance for the system so that it's maintaining room temperature at a very tight tolerance all the time, and provides controllability both for the contractor to dial in the system and make it very simple to get the system just perfect right out of the gate, not a lot of return trips to balance things out, and also have some interface for the consumer or the homeowner so that they can control their system, set certain areas back, or shut things down, change temperatures, so they have a little bit more control. And it's part of a smart home system. So the idea is that you can integrate it with your smart home technology. So it's a really unique system. It's been proven in Europe, and it's a old concept brought to modern day technology. So a really, really good addition to our radiant heating line.
You said a lot of great things there, and since we really couldn't see it last year, Let's unpack some of the things a little bit more. I mean, what's the main problem here that this solves, I guess? I'm trying to understand that a little bit better.
So one of the challenges with the radiant heating system is you really need to balance your flow across the radiant panel. So especially the bigger the area is and the more impacted that area is for, let's say, with typical architectural design today where you have a lot of windows in homes. You know, we're trying to build more efficient construction today, but people like their windows, right? They want to see outside. They like the natural light, and natural light is great because it saves energy in itself. You lose some energy, but you pick up some savings as well. So in balancing those spaces to make sure that you have total comfort in the space, whether you're near the window or you're in the core of the room, can be a real challenge. And you really need to thoroughly balance that system and in every room. So this does that automatically. It's really trying to maintain temperature across the panel, get the heat output very consistent across the room without having to fuss with the system. And what's best about that is with radiant heating, on a really warm day, you got a lot of solar gain, the house might overheat. This kind of controls that. What else it will do is it really helps on those days where it's like 50 degrees out and rainy. And it's just, you're just not getting enough heat into the space. You feel cold. It's a perception of cold, and maybe there's more humidity. And so we have humidity sensors to really identify how much heat we need to put into the space to compensate for that and just balance the comfort of the system out, all while actually increasing the efficiency, and it can save up to 30% over a traditional radiant system that's not balanced. So it solves a lot of problems, and it's super simple to install. That's the other great thing. It makes the zoning and the wiring plug and play. It's very, very simple.
So I'm assuming the secret sauce is in the electronics of doing all these things, yeah?
It is.
So that's the key.
That's correct. And the Viega Group owns a control company in Switzerland called Oblamatic, and they make a lot of our controls for the European market, and they do some things for us as well. And so this is kind of coming out of there as well. And they're a very competent company with a long history. And so, yeah, it's sometimes it's about that technology, electronic technology, and what you're really trying to control.
So the answer has been in a Swiss company for Europe for many years, I assume. But this is an old, as you mentioned, it's an old product coming new to the United States.
Yes, correct.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and it's just an innovation to provide some more versatility to radiant systems, simplifying the installation while increasing the comfort and the efficiency, and providing that simplicity for the installer.
Good. Well, let's jump into training, because that's a great subject for your company to expound upon. I mentioned I'd been to Colorado. I just, amazing facility.
Thank you.
And we don't want to discount Nashua either. So what's going on with training these days?
So great question. So, we opened our Colorado facility in 2019. New Hampshire was opened in 2006, actually. It's roughly half the size of the Colorado facility, about 13,000 square feet in New Hampshire and 24 in Colorado. And we've been constantly trying to innovate our training. So one of the things we did is we started to change how we interact with customers and engage with customers and attendees that come to the seminar centers to provide more hands-on training. So they're getting hands-on with the products. They're really understanding concepts. We're expanding our lesson plan so that we include things like basic pipe fitting or system sizing calculations or expansion loop calculations, various things that they'll use on a daily basis and they'll remember. Also, having them be successful with the product. This also holds true for our valve launch, because we have a whole lot of valves. People want to understand how those valves work, how they can be successful with them. And when you're talking about a press valve, once you press it into place, you want to be sure, that valve's in the right place and that's where it needs to be and it's done right. And so you don't want to have to cut that out. No. That would be a bad day. So we want to continue with that training as well. In addition, we've expanded our virtual training considerably. So the word webinar is a dirty word in my department. We like to consider them workshops. We call them Viega Works. And for a Viega Works session, we basically engage with our field sales customers. We tailor a virtual training specifically to their needs. No PowerPoint required. In fact, there is none, and it's almost not allowed. Sometimes we'll bring some concepts up on screen, but for the most part, there's no PowerPoint. It's all live demonstration and discussion.
Right.
And it's really tailored to that customer's needs. It's a quick hit. It's 30 minutes or an hour max. We don't want to fatigue them. Plus, everybody's busy. They're out in the field. Right? So we don't have time to get away. So it allows us to reach more customers, provide the content specific to what they need without getting in the weeds or, it's not a sales pitch. It's none of that. It's really just answering their questions and helping them be successful. And we did nearly 5,000 of those last year. So when you multiply by, 2 to 5 customers at a pop,
really,
those are some big numbers, and we're really quite effective at it. So
5,000 webinars, or what was your phrase?
Yeah, webinar is a bad word. We don't say that.
So 5,000 of those. And are you back in the classroom at all? Because you got these beautiful facilities, but I know it's hard to get back there.
Yeah, and we've been, the current pandemic situation or COVID situation is always a moving target. So trying to meet local requirements for our county and our state, as well as travel requirements, plus, getting people out of the field, because it's hard when you've lost people because you don't have the staff because of they're sick or whatever it is, or you just, you can't mobilize and you don't have enough people. So it's hard to get people in, but we have been doing in-person training both in New Hampshire and Colorado to meet the demand. It's less now just because there's just less people traveling.
Right.
But we're hoping things start to loosen back up as time goes on here, and we intend to get back to full capacity again, back to those 5, 6, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 people through the seminar centers, as well as continuing with the virtual. So we've got virtual studios where we can actually conduct virtual training simultaneously while doing in-person training. Obviously not the same technical consultant, but we can mobilize multiple trainings at the same time. And that's really, we're trying to innovate that, because we don't want to just bring great products to the market. We want to bring great service.
Sure. And I'm curious, the classroom training that you are doing, is anything particularly different with all these things in mind for me sitting there in the classroom?
Yeah, so that's another great question. So like in the past, you would come to training, you'd spend a good part of your day in the classroom.
Sitting there,
Sitting there. And contractors, I'm a contractor 35 years, I don't want to sit in a classroom all day. I just don't want to do that. I want to get up, I want to move around, I want to do something. So what we've done, we worked really hard to shift that to where now you're like, I really want to get back to the classroom so I can sit down and take a break. So we work in the hands-on labs. That was the purpose of building studios. We've expanded our lab space. We're expanding more lab space in Colorado, or workshop space. I like to call them labs. The guys like to call them workshops. It's fine. Either way, it's hands-on. It's engaging or interacting with the product, learning new skills. And we have some challenges that we've set up. So, it used to be hard to get people to pick up a press tool and make a press connection because nobody wanted to do it in front of anyone. So now what we've done is say, we're going to build this, and we're going to break up into groups. We're going to see who's the fastest. And oh man, they're like fighting over the press tool at that point. I'll show you who's going to build this the fastest and the straightest and the most plumb and level. So we've really tried to up that engagement, and we're going to continue to innovate that training piece so that we can, make it an experience for the customer.
Good. Well, I want to wrap things up, but
you bet.
Before we go, I know I talked to your colleague Colton at some point last year, I guess, and he was very instrumental with these Tech Talk Lives with you as well.
That was Troy, yeah.
Troy,
yeah,
okay,
Troy,
sorry.
Yep. Troy Locke, yeah.
You're still doing those, yeah?
We are. So the confusion there was that Troy is still involved in Tech Talk Live, and he still supports training, but he's actually taking over our engagement division. Making sure that customers have the correct technical information, and making sure that all technical information across training, across tech support and field services aligned, so that we make sure we get the right information to the customers and it's accurate.
Okay.
So he's handling that because he's very adept at it, and he's just fantastic in that role. And so he'll still be supporting Tech Talk Live. And now we're having Colton Hankowski, who is one of my technical consultants. And he has a strong presence in social media as the Viking pipe fitter.
That's right.
And he has taken over helping with the Tech Talk Live piece. He's speaking right to his base. He's got a lot of followers. People love him. He's high energy. He's big and boisterous and extremely knowledgeable pipe fitter. So he's just a great asset, and we have a lot of fun. So we're trying to keep it diverse, and let him kind of run with it. I'll still be showing up. Troy will be showing up from time to time, but we want to have more guest appearances, and we want to really kind of get out to the industry a little bit more and get those people on.
You mentioned the customer engagement division. Is this a new creation? I'm not so sure.
It's a new creation in trying to really serve our customers. So provide more services beyond just the product. We make great product. We've got great valves. We've got great fittings. We innovate. We started this party. We wrote the book. But we want to have those services to support the customer, and that's really where it matters, is making sure that we give them a well-rounded portfolio of products and services so they can rely on us, and that's really what we want. Again, we share in their success, and we have an obligation to take care of our customers. We can't just leave them flapping in the breeze. No. So really that's what this is about.
So last question, we're February 1st today, the year is just beginning, anything else new in the pipeline in terms of products that you can maybe talk about, or is there any training concepts maybe?
Absolutely. So in addition to our new MegaPress line that we've launched and our ProPress line up to 4-inch, MegaPress up to 4-inch, we just launched some MegaPress gas valves. We're the first with any of these configurations. So we offer them in 4 configurations: press by press with a male or female thread, and then press by ground joint. So it's a really cool product, and that is available half to 2.
Okay.
But MegaPress gas goes all the way up to 4. So there's a good chance that you'll be seeing some innovative products that fill in that gap above 2. That's all I'm going to say. So we're definitely working to innovate new product all the time, and look for more innovation, both on valves and fittings as the year goes on.
Anything new and different coming for training though too?
We're going to continue to drive VegaWorks to support our customers no matter what. We'll be there for you. So if you can't get to training, we can get with you on camera.
All right.
We want to make it easy. And then also adding new hands-on demonstrations, hands-on exercises in the labs, custom training trip packages, and really simplifying the training process. So we've reduced our training time down to a single day,
All right.
Make it really easy for customers to get in and get out, get the content they need, and get back into the workforce.
Good. And before we go, the Tech Talk Lives that I saw, those were your Instagram account, yeah?
We did.
If I were a contractor, how would I know about these?
You can just follow us at Instagram at Viega LLC.
Okay.
And we always put a teaser out for the Tech Talk Live episode, and we always make sure our social strategist for Viega is fantastic at really kind of driving that and making sure people are aware, and people still, they still show up. They get the message and they show up and they engage with us, and it's a lot of fun. And we keep that short too. We respect your time. So, usually they're a half an hour where we just get in and out and talk tech, and we engage with people and answer questions and let you get back to your life. So,
well, plenty of stuff that you described, and
very exciting.
There's more to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, very
absolutely.
good. Well, thanks again for coming by. And
thank you for having me.
We're going to come see you at 2:30, I believe, this afternoon. So we're going to look at more of the valves and this radiant auto valve. So I should have seen last year, and now I can see it this year.
Yeah, that's great.
Very good.
Look forward to it.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
see you soon in the afternoon.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
We're going to take another break, and we will be back shortly with more interviews.